Overqwil is a Pokemon that I slept on, even back in my Legends Arceus playthrough. I used a lot of Hisuian Pokemon in that game, but this one didn't make the cut. And it's not a Pokemon that I've given much thought to in Gen 9 VGC either. You could say that Overqwil has flown under the radar, or rather, swum under the radar, from all the way back in old-timey Hisui to present-day Paldea. A long time, and impressive when it's such a big and attention-grabbing creature. But one player wasn't sleeping on it, and that was a player named Henry Rich, who got top 8 at NAIC with an Overqwil, along with Scarf Landorus, AV Rillaboom, Volcarona, Tornadus, and this Mystic Water Kyogre here. And conveniently enough for me, the CK49 channel just today, as I'm recording this, today, uploaded a team report and put Henry Rich's exact pace in the description. I thought that I might record this yesterday or the day before, and if I had done that, I would have said, I don't have his EVs, I just made up some simple spreads myself. But conveniently, today, I have gotten his EVs. What you see here are them. So yeah, let's try out. Definitely a very cool team with a pretty unique Pokemon on it. Kyogre is an interesting restricted Pokemon that, of course, gets a lot less play than it used to. Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying this team out, and of course it's tournament proven, getting top 8 at the major event in North America for this season. I hope the ladder isn't dead. I guess I should talk about what Overqwil does. It has, it's an offensive set with a Life Orb, Gunk Shot, and Crunch. Can, being a Poison and Dark type, can threaten things like Calyrex and, I guess grass types that threaten Kyogre, and it gets Swift Swim, so it's a poison and dark type. It's a poison type with Swift Swim, which plays an interesting role in a rain team. And then, of course, it also carries Acid Spray to soften targets up for Kyogre or Landorus to hit them harder. This is a Zamazenta team, and I did watch that team report before I started recording, and Henry Rich talked about how he played Zamazenta teams. Obviously, Volcarona is part of the puzzle. Volcarona is a giant threat into Zamazenta with Will-O-Wisp and its resistances. Who else is good here? Kyogre has Water Spout, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, and Protect. I'll accept open team sheets. I just forgot. I think I like the Landorus here, but I have to be somewhat careful with it. I don't really know what I want to do, so I'm just going to lead Kyogre Tornadus, and I'll bring Volcarona, and I'll bring Landorus in the back. I'm just going to take some seconds to look at my opponent's team sheet before I commit. It is Terra Dragon Zamazenta. Makes some sense, but not sure I've seen it before. Pretty typical Chanpao, Rocky Helmet, Pelipper, Terra Stellar, interesting. Makes sense, but interesting. Terra Ground, AV Rillaboom. They really don't want to lose to Miraidon. That's Screen's Grimmsnarl and Ditto. Okay. Oh, my opponent hasn't committed yet? Or actually, their timer didn't tick down until now, so they must have locked something in and then canceled. I wonder whether they're second-guessing something? Anyway, not bringing the Overqwil to this game. Maybe I should. I see a case for it here, but yeah, we'll try these 4. Zamazenta, Grimmsnarl. It is not a setup Zamazenta. It does have Wide Guard. I'm going to switch to Volcarona in the Kyogre slot, and I mean, if I click Bleak Wind Storm, I get some chip, unless it Wide Guards. And if it Wide Guards, then it has to use its action to do that. Actually, another play I have... What does Grimmsnarl have? It does have Thunder Wave. Okay. I was gonna say I could taunt the Zamazenta and then go in with Kyogre, but I don't want to get Kyogre paralyzed, so just do this. They do Wide Guard and set Light Screen, I think that was. Yep, Light Screen. I'm just gonna throw off a Will-O-Wisp into Zamazenta. I don't think it stays in on that, but again, I could chip something with Bleak Wind Storm. And, I mean, a burn on any Pokemon is good. I guess the only thing I can't burn is Ditto, because it will turn into Volcarona if it switches into that slot. But then, Bleak Wind Storm should hit it pretty hard. And of course, if they stay in wide guard, then they get their Zamazenta burned, unless I miss. Okay, they go for the Terra Dragon. Heavy Slam into Tornadus does a little over half, but it won't do half now. The Bleak Wind, yeah, chips their Pokemon a little bit. That's cool. What do I do about this Pelipper? I do have Terra Water Volcarona, but I don't really have an offensive threat into the Pelipper after that. I think I'm down to Terrastallize Volcarona and just chip the Pelipper with Bug Buzz, and I'll set Tailwind now because I could lose Tornadus fairly soon. And yeah, the Zamazenta doesn't have a lot going on right now except being a wide guard bot. They went for Weather Ball into the Volcarona. I could try to swap Kyogre back in here, but on the other hand, I think they probably go for Hurricane next. Just chip the Pelipper some more. And Bleak Wind Storm to keep the Zamazenta honest, and it did not stay honest. It didn't click Wide Guard this turn. We get rid of the Pelipper, which is actually kind of big for my Pokemon in the back. Pelipper was actually kind of a problem. And we know they have Grimmsnarl. We don't know their last Pokemon. It's Rillaboom. Now we know. So that's a little unfortunate for the Terra Water Volcarona. I do have Scarf, Sludge Bomb, Landorus in the back. I think... What does the Rillaboom have? It doesn't have Fake Out. And I have Tailwind up, so I can actually just go for a burn right now. AV Rillaboom with no Fake Out. And I'll Bleak Wind Storm. They can block this with Wide Guard, and they do. But they're not accomplishing much in the meantime. And yeah, I can play this kind of slowly, and my Pokemon in the back should be getting pretty close to the point where they can just clean this up, I would think. I'll go for a Bug Buzz into the Rillaboom here. They might take Volcarona out, but nope, they'll forfeit instead. Okay. That was a decent start. Maybe a little bit of a silly game, but it went pretty smoothly. This is a Zacian Rain team. They got a whole bunch of rain threats, and then a Zacian. Covers its fire weakness, I guess. Assuming it's Crown Sword form. So I think I want... Well, interesting. Well, this is interesting, actually, because I think I want Volcarona into Zacian, but I don't know that I want Volcarona into anything else here. I do have the Terra Water, but then, of course, that makes it vulnerable to Thundurus and Archaludon. My opponent DC'd, but hopefully they'll come back. Yeah, they do. How do I play this? I think Overqwil is good here. I think this is an Overqwil game. It is Crown Sword Zacian. I've heard talk of people using Hero of Many Battles Zacian, but I don't think I've ever actually seen one yet. Okay, it's a Rain Dance, Eerie, Impulse, Thundurus. We're familiar with that on this channel. AV Archaludon. What if I just lead Overqwil Landorus? Try to get offensive pressure into whatever they lead. Bring Kyogre in the back. Actually, I probably want Horn. So what if I lead this, and then I bring Overqwil and Kyogre in the back? And it seems worth a shot. I didn't really think through if I'm leading only one attacker between Landorus and Overqwil, which one is better. I have to keep in mind that the Basculegion has Aqua Jet. And the Landorus is Terra Ground, so I can get more damage from that, but I can't Terra out of its weaknesses. But here... Okay, it'll be faster than their Pokemon. I could just YOLO a switch to Kyogre and click Sandsear Storm. It risks damage on Kyogre, but you know what? I think I'm just going to do it. No, actually, I don't even have to. I can just Rain Dance Sandsear Storm. I didn't think about the Eerie Impulse. That's on me. This could burn, though. Doesn't. Okay, and that's a lot of damage on Tornadus, but I'm not really inclined to switch anything in, so I'll just set Tailwind, and we'll try again to get that burn. If we take an Eerie Impulse again, so be it. I guess I could swap Overqwil into that slot, but they don't Eerie Impulse this time. What do they do? They get rid of the Tornadus with Wild Bolt Storm. Okay. I think I'm alright with that because... Well... The Eerie Impulse is a bit of a problem for Kyogre, so let's bring Overqwil in instead. It's a Dark type, so... Well, they don't have Thunder Wave anyway. They wouldn't be able to. And I'll just Gunk Shot into the Thundurus and go for another Sandsear Storm. Basically just the YOLO lead that I was talking about, except I didn't lead them. And that means I get to set some stuff up to enable them to attack more effectively. Right, I got Rain and Tailwind up, and now I do have these Pokemon in next to each other. Granted, -2 Landorus. Could be -4 this turn, depending on what the opponent does, but it's still some offensive pressure. Oh, we don't KO the Thundurus there, but we do poison it. I guess that's something. Obviously, I don't know the calcs with this team. Maybe Terra Poison would have made the difference there. Although, with the way Overqwil just went down, I don't really love any version of it. Now, unfortunately, I can't switch Landorus out. And Kyogre is a sitting duck for an Eerie Impulse, but what can you do? Water Spout should still do plenty of damage to these guys. In Rain and Tailwind. But then there's only one turn left of those things after that. But we'll see. Of course, I don't know what my opponent has in the back. They're thinking. Yeah, there's the expected Eerie Impulse into Kyogre. But it's gonna the Thundurus is gonna take a single target Water Spout now. And I've got my 2 nerfed special attackers in a Dream. It is unfortunate that I didn't leave myself anything to pivot in here, but I didn't. And the Basculegion is going to be faster than Kyogre. But I'm just going to click Water Spout anyway. If they get me, they get me. They disconnected. that might be the win con here. Now they're back. They're grass. Yeah, okay. Ooh. Yeah, alright. Yeah, I mean, I could have targeted an Ice Beam into the Basculegion, but that wasn't saving this. But we continue. Until 3 lost, as I always say. Although, behind the scenes, I'm recording out of order again, so I've already recorded the video after this. And I'm pretty sure I just miscounted my losses in that one. I think I only lost 2 games. But you tell me when that goes up, whether that's the case. I was gonna say 2-2-2, but there's not really a third 2, is there? I don't know what... Oh, well, I mean, I know what Glamora does with Dondozo. I don't really know what Palmet's doing here. Just making the team harder to get rid of, I guess. Man, I haven't thought about my Dondozo matchups in a while. I mean, it's still around, but you never really expect to see it anymore. Into Miraidon. I think this team leads Tornogre. I think that's what Henry Rich said. Although with the Whimsicott, I'm not super inclined. And I think I'm actually not gonna. I think I'm gonna lead Torn, Lando. I'll bring Kyogre, and I'll bring Volcarona. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But the good news is they have no Sandsear Storm switch-ins. So I can just Rain Dance and click that. It means like okay, they have Draco Meteor. Didn't think that all the way through. But their Miraidon is now weakened. I can set my Tailwind. Terra Ghost. Well, hold on. Are they choiced? They didn't show me their team sheet. I don't know whether they're choiced or AV. I'm going to Terra Ghost and Water Spout. Into the Tatsugiri. Into the Dondozo. Not great. Also, this is why I brought the Volcarona. So I played this to Terra Water on this. So I played this completely wrong. It happens, I guess. Live and learn. I'm gonna taunt and protect and see if they terrestrialize Dondozo. So that if it's a Terra Grass or something, I'm not caught out by that. Terra Dragon. Going for Order Up. Not great for me. But yeah, see, I can Ice Beam that now. And I will just... Actually... I'll swap Volcarona in anyway. It's like, worst case, I can sack this and sack it here and hope I get Flame Body. And I'll just target an Ice Beam into the Dondozo. That Order Up does too much damage, and of course they got another boost. But here... I'll Will-O-Wisp, and I'll protect Kyogre. I have Tailwind up, they don't. Unfortunately, I missed the Will-O-Wisp. Do I get a Flame Body burn? No. I do get my Tailwind back this turn, but I think that's too little too late. Unless I get a freeze here. That actually... Oh, it does freeze! I was gonna say that actually did a lot of damage, but hey, it also did something else. I'll set Rain Dance, and let's just get rid of the Dondozo. Stays frozen. I guess going for Protect there. Still don't really see a... Well, I don't really see a way to win this, but... At least I shouldn't win this. I don't deserve to. I played the early game really badly. But... Yeah, there's the Whimsicott, so they can get their Tailwind here. Unless they let me taunt them. And I guess I'll just Ice Beam the Tatsugiri. And I get a freeze on that too. Maybe they'll Rage Quit. Here I'll just Bleak Wind Storm and go for another Ice Beam. Not Sash on the Whimsicott, which is interesting. And this is actually still winnable, I think. Is it? I can still lose to Miraidon. But here I get my Tailwind back up and Ice Beam it. And then they probably beat me with Discharge. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was a closer game than it really had any business being after the way I started it off, but... Anyway. Still haven't lost 3. I know how to count this video, at least. Okay, this is actually kind of like the, Hang on, is that one out yet? The Monkey Dory team I used? Yeah. It's also just a pretty standard Shadow Rider Calyrex team, although kind of mixing a couple different versions of the archetype, I think, isn't it? They reject open team sheets. So we bring Overqwil to Calyrex games, I know that. They don't have Tailwind, so I feel like Torn Ogre is pretty solid with Covert Cloak Torn and Terra Ghost Ogre. Bring Overqwil in the back. And I think Landorus is pretty solid. 4th Pokemon here to try to clean up. They lead Calyrex Clefairy, but... Yeah, I don't even have to Terra, because they're not threatening Fake Out in the lead. And I can just Tailwind and Water Spout, right? I don't know if that claims KOs, but... You do a lot of damage to stuff. Very straightforward Torn Ogre gameplay there. Helping Hand. Yeah, I mean, they're going to hit back hard if they survive, which they do. Very narrowly, actually. But my Pokemon are pretty bulky, too. How about that? And here I'll just Bleak Wind Storm, and... Kyogre's pretty low, but I think a Water Spout is fine here. Not risk missing a Hydro Pump into something. My opponent, I mean, they really started on the back foot this game. thinking. Protecting. Follow me. What do they think this is? I mean, okay, they kill a turn of Tailwind and they get something in, probably with fake out pressure, right? I wouldn't mind seeing the Rillaboom here, I think. Actually, could be a threat with Grassy Glide. Maybe I'd rather see the Minshow. But I don't know what it's going to be. It is that. Okay, so that could have Wide Guard. And it could have Fake Out. I'll throw off a Bleak Windstorm. Actually, I could swap to Overqwil here, I think. I think that's a better idea. Switch to Overqwil. And try to pick up... Oh, switch to Overqwil. Terra Ghost, try to pick up the Calyrex with Hydro Pump. They click Wide Guard. We missed the Hydro Pump, that's not good. Kyogre goes down. Overqwil takes that pretty well, though. And, of course, I have the speed advantage with Tailwind and Swift Swim. And I think here I actually want to go Landorus and keep up the offensive pressure. I can go for a Crunch into the Calyrex slot, and... do they Wide Guard here? Landorus on Rain carries Sandsear Storm. They probably know that. Thunderstorm's power. Into the Flutter Mane, actually. So Sandsear Storm would have been fine, but we still get some damage. And, okay, the Tailwind runs out here, but I still have Swift Swim and Choice Scarf. It is Speed Booster Flutter Mane, though. I'm just gonna send it, though. Just double target the Calyrex slot. If the Flutter Mane takes a KO, I can still get rid of the Calyrex. Maybe I lose the game, I don't know. They don't have that much in the back. This is the last turn of Rain, though. So that offense I was talking about goes away after this, unfortunately. The Icy Wind. I was so worried about the damage from Flutter Mane, I didn't think properly about that. And yeah, I mean, I'm not winning it with Tornadus at this point, so they got me. That's 3 losses, but that was pretty quick, so I'm going to play one more. I didn't do the team justice, unfortunately. Apologies to the creator. This is an interesting Miraidon team. Let's just try these 4. Yeah, okay, so they threaten Wide Guard right off the bat. I'll set Tailwind and protect Kyogre. If they Terrasilize the Ogerpon, that tells me something useful. They don't. They just go for Wood Hammer into Kyogre. I could swap to Ogerpon, or Ogerpon. I could swap to Overqwil here. I don't hate that. Throw on off a Bleak Windstorm to keep them honest and switch to Overqwil. Maybe I'm using spread attacks into a likely Wide Guard too often. Most of the time that I've been doing it, I haven't really seen much downside. That Icy Wind miss on Overqwil is pretty helpful. We knock Iron Valiant down to its Sash. I like that. Here I'll... yeah, I'll switch to Landorus. And I'll go for a Gunk Shot. Terra Poison, Gunk Shot into the Miraidon. We go Terra Electric. Gunk Shot annihilates that thing. Yeah, they do land an Icy Wind on the Landorus. I didn't really think they'd do that again this turn, but oops. And now I have no Iron Bundle switch in. Am I still faster? Maybe. I'll Earth Power into the bundle, because of course they can still wide guard. And actually I'll just crunch into the bundle too. That does a lot. Maybe I should have gone for Gunk Shot, that would have KO'd. Yeah, I guess Gunk Shot was the play. I'm just not that familiar with Ogre, or I almost called it Ogre Pawn again. I'm just not familiar enough with Overqwil, huh? And I've let the Iron Valiant sit on the field all this time, so they can keep using Wide Guard now. So I'll go for Hydro Pump, and I'll get my Tailwind back up. They can, of course, keep clicking Icy Wind, though, as well. But they do Wide Guard here, so I got that right. Freeze Dry into Tornadus means that Kyogre gets an attack off, and it hits. Good. They can, if they want, protect their Ogre Pawn and get off an Icy Wind. So I'm gonna click. I kind of want to click Water Spout. I'm gonna do that, anticipating that the Iron Valiant doesn't go for Wide Guard, and there's a good chance the Ogre Pawn uses Spiky Shield. There's the Spiky Shield, and no Wide Guard, so I got that call right. I still have Tailwind, but is a Water Spout going to KO outside of Rain? Actually, yes! Alright! So we get to end it on a win. I think I went 2 and 3 there, and I had to play an extra game to get to the 2. I definitely don't understand this team as well as, say, someone who's practiced with it. You know what? Actually, I'll get one more. I'll get one more and see if I can go 500. So definitely feel like I'm letting this team down. What is this? Superior, Gliscor, Alola, and Raichu. Well, okay, Blood Moon or Saluna isn't weird. But half this team is weird. I'm once again a little apprehensive about bringing Kyogre into, this time, Alola and Raichu. Alola and Raichu, what does Surge Surfer do? I think it doubles speed in electric terrain, so Raichu will be faster than Kyogre even after I get my Tailwind up. I guess I'll lead Torn Ogre and I'll switch Landorus in if they lead Raichu. And I can bring Rillaboom. Threaten. Well, really just the Ursaluna, and I can change the terrain. I'll bring Overqwil. It's the Overqwil video. Okay, they lead me right on Gliscor, so no Raichu so far. And I can just Tailwind Water Spout. I don't think I'm supposed to Terra Ghost here. Maybe I'm misremembering. But I think it's just Tailwind Water Spout. I'll get a lot of damage on the Miraidon at least. Yeah, well, okay, that only does about half, actually. But they Volt Switch into Tornadus, perhaps expecting me to switch Kyogre out. That turns out nicely for me. They get Superior in here, so I'll go Overqwil. And I can threaten it with Gunk Shot. I was going to say or Acid Spray, but no, I really actually don't want to click Acid Spray into Superior. For obvious reasons. I'm just going to Terra Poison, send a Gunk Shot, and click Water Spout again. Who's going to stop me? A Gunk Shot miss could have stopped me, but it doesn't miss, and this will now be a single target Water Spout, when double target already did more than half. Yeah. Okay, now this is more like how this team's supposed to play, and you know what? It's the Stanley Cup Final right now as I'm recording this, and the NBA Finals just ended recently. Instead of three, we've already blown way past playing to 3 losses. Instead, we're going to call this a best-of-7 series. So, time for Game 7. Make or break for this this video with this team. This person has a Raichu, but it's the other Raichu. And they have a Kyogre with it, and they have a Garganacl, and I don't know what they're doing with these pieces. Garganacl in this format. I should be able to just run it over, right? I'll lead Tornadus for sure, because they are threatening their own Tailwind. I think Torn Ogre is fine here. I just have to be alert to a possible wide guard from the Garganacl. I'll bring Rillaboom to cover their Kyogre and the Raichu and the Garganacl to an extent. And I don't hate Landorus. They got a lot of ground weaknesses. But I think I prefer Overqwil. I don't know. Overqwil can more effectively threaten Kyogre and stuff. Yeah, and I'll just, good chance their Kyogre's faster than mine, so I'll just Tailwind and switch to Rillaboom, I think. They actually protect the Murkrow. They don't set Tailwind, so I could have gotten a big attack off there, although they have Thunder and I don't, so I guess that's for the best. They get the Para, hopefully that won't be an issue. I'll just throw down a Bleak Windstorm here, and just send a Woodhammer into the Kyogre slot. Why not? Okay, we'll hit Incineroar instead. -1 Woodhammer and Bleak Windstorm. It's going to do some damage. Did I remember to accept open team sheets? I did. I guess they don't want to. Snarl, Murkrow. Well, that's fine into these Pokemon, but also good to know for the rest. I see no downside to clicking Bleak Windstorm again and switching to Overqwil here. Don't want Kyogre to take a Snarl. Or various things that Incineroar can do, including its own Snarl. But yeah, they have no threat to Overqwil with those Pokemon on the field. And we just get rid of their Urshifu with the Bleak Windstorm there. And that Snarl is just not a problem. It's Covert Cloak, Tornadus, and Overqwil is a physical attacker. I kind of want to just send a Gunk Shot into Kyogre right now. I also kind of want to play it safer and click Crunch. But, oh, well, I was going to go for the Gunk Shot play. Because rule of cool, but they forfeited. So that's a win, then 3 straight losses, then 3 straight wins. I guess I got a little more of a feel for this team as the games went on. And hey, went positive on the video. But it's definitely a fun team, even if I didn't give it the best showing at times. I can't put links in my description, and you can just find the team report on CK49. So you can get the pace from there. But yeah, check it out if you want. It's not my favorite team I've ever used, but it's a cool one for sure. And Overqwil is, like I said, a Pokemon that I'd never really thought about very much. Definitely worth trying out. Anyway, next time, let me know whether I can count. Keep your eyes peeled for that video. See you then.